XFM.
The album's called Journal for Plague Lovers, and it's, well, I suppose basically it's the booklet of lyrics that Richey left us, I suppose on the eve of his disappearance. And, for years, we haven't really haven't felt as if we were ready to tackle, the lyrics or use them in any kind of songs. But as the time has passed, I suppose it's suddenly it felt as if it was right to use these lyrics, and we've actually recorded the whole album using these lyrics and put music to them.
Have you been tempted before to delve into them?
Yeah, no, I'm over the years, myself and Nick, we've picked the lyrics up and we've looked at them and we've looked at them in awe, I suppose, but haven't felt really ready. But around about 2 years ago was the first time where we just felt that, we were ready to actually do it. It took a long time for us to feel like that, but like I said, about 2 years ago is when we actually felt that we could do this, really. And we really enjoyed it, but I got to say also there was a sense of responsibility when we were using the lyrics as well. We felt as if we had a responsibility to do Richey's words justice. And I suppose that was part of the whole thing of letting enough time elapse to actually feel as if we were ready to do it, I suppose.
I suppose initially when you first started singing these songs, it must have been fairly emotional.
Yeah, I suppose there's, in some senses, I think that once we actually got into the studio and we actually started making the music and we started, putting music to Richey's lyrics, in a sense, I think it almost felt like as if we were a full band again.
Yeah.
In a sense, it almost felt, it was as close as to him being in the room again as possible, I suppose. And that was the predominant kind of emotion, that we actually enjoyed, as feeling as if we were in a band with Richey again. So yeah, there was there's a song called William Last Words, which Nicky and the band sings, which is, I suppose, if you actually listen to the lyrics of that song, that it's hard to escape the emotion in those lyrics. But like I said, the predominant emotion was that we actually enjoyed being in a band with Richey again.
Sure. How much did you have to adapt the words and add to them at all?
A lot. To be honest, a lot of the lyrics were kind of felt as if they were just songs straight away.
Yeah.
But kind of in Richey's case, he always wrote so many words, so you could never include all the words.
Yeah.
Otherwise, sometimes you'd be having 15-minute epics.
Monologues.
Time, But no, a lot of the lyrics really did feel as if they just lent themselves to music straight away. There were one or two lyrics where required a wee bit more work or editing, but mostly, they just felt like rock lyrics. It just felt like, I'm so comfortable with singing Richey's lyrics anyway, and it was so easy to get to that point where I felt as if it was, the same old process of being in the Manics again.
Let's talk a little bit about the new album musically. There's been a lot of talk of, Holy Bible Part 2, people putting two and two together. How much would you go with that or dismiss it?
I would do neither. I wouldn't go with it and I wouldn't dismiss it. I think there are small elements of there are echoes of the Bible, but mostly I think it's not Holy Bible Part 2. I don't think so, because the lyrics kind of led us in a different direction. I think, a lot of the lyrics on the Holy Bible dealt with the disgust that comes from being so angry. But I think, a lot of the lyrics on this was dealing with what comes out of the disgust you feel, and I think a lot of these lyrics actually is when the disgust turns to doubt. And I think that's what a lot of the lyrics deal with. So kind of, the lyrics, in a sense, weren't quite as angry as the Holy Bible lyrics. It was something a bit more complicated going on there, I think.